everyone, my name is Earthy Donnie, and some of you guys may know me as Donnie Monk in the academic setting.
My name is Pooji, and some of you guys may know me as Pooji the Greatest.
And today what we're bringing to you guys is something specifically from Ecothot. And Ecothot is an organization that focuses on representing non-traditional environmentalists and providing educational resources on current events in the United States today. Texas is facing some harsh conditions. As we can see on the screen, Texas is going through an unusual weather event. So to begin things off, what we want to do is establish the tone of what is climate and what is weather. And I feel like a lot of people may have those two confused. So, climate. Climate is a long-term scale of events that we predict. It is predicted. And weather is the events that actually occur in that prediction. So climate, for example, we can assume that Texas climate, based on observation from previous weather events, that climate will be, for Texas, warm. Something we want to move to have a nice, great vacation. However, the weather today shows us that Texas is not so good anymore. And let's talk about why. When we think about climate change, we try to put it around these ideas of environmental justice and saying that, yeah, BIPOC communities are marginalized. That is a fact. However, we never actually take the time to think of solutions. And because of this, situations like Texas have arisen. So, let's talk about some of the issues. Number one, we have an issue with disabled community members. Number two, we have an issue with the weather. Number three, we have plenty of issues with the accessibility of resources to combat a situation of random snow. And that list can go on and on. But the main thing today that I want to talk about is the issue of accessibility of resources. My sister currently lives in Texas right now. And because we were born in Cleveland, Ohio, shout out to the Cavaliers.
LeBron James.
We're from an environment where the weather gets to -20 and where the snow can go up to 20 inches high on a regular snow day before climate change. We're from an environment where we understand how snow can influence a community. However, what about the people who've never seen snow one day in their entire life and it just came? And that's what's happening in Texas. Today they woke up and wow, there's snow. Yesterday they woke up and wow, there's still snow. Snow, 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 snow. And what do we do with all this snow? And you know what they're doing in Texas? They're putting dirt, they're putting all of these things down because they have no solutions to how to take care of the climate change that they have experienced.
Alright, so now we're going to talk about the energy grids. And we're going to talk about the main reason why the grid has been overwhelmed. When we think about this, we're thinking about, these electric systems and these companies are going to run forever. As long as they have coal and natural gas, they're going to keep heating it up and it's going to supply infinite amount of people. The thing is, that's not true. One of the main reasons for outages is animals, natural disasters, and overuse. Everybody in Texas right now is probably trying to crank up their heat, if they even have heat. Most of these places aren't constructed for heat because they just need AC. It's hot. They're not thinking about having heat on. So if these places do have heat, or if they have electric heaters, everyone probably went out to Walmart or something, bought an electric heater, and now they're turning it up to the max. And now these places, they're not able to supply that power because it's frozen. All those grids are frozen, all those wires are frozen, and Texas was never meant to be a cold place. So now you have power outages around the state. People are sitting in their garages, in their cars, burning up their car heat. Everyone's going to the gas station to use that instead. FEMA couldn't even supply these people with electricity. They're prepared more for hurricanes than they're prepared for snow. And unless you supply people with generators around the whole state at once, what are you going to expect? People are going to be freezing.
And on another note, What we want to talk about is the food security issue in Texas. I personally, as you can see from the images, have had an experience with food insecurity in Texas. I volunteered and I got to see the infrastructure that was built. And one of my biggest concerns is a lot of crops come from Texas. So when the landscape that's expected so far as the ecology of Texas, we're talking about the soil, we're talking about the air, we're talking about the moisture, we're talking about every little aspect of the environment in the biophysical sphere, those things were all affected from the snow. What's going to happen is we're not going to have the crops we're used to. And on top of that, the people primarily affected will be Texas residents. It will be the residents and it will also be Americans, because we get our food sources from different parts of the world, different parts of this country. And when you take away the nutrients in the soil, which snow can do, extreme cold weather temperatures to a climate of usually hot and dry weather, and maybe a little bit of breeze here and there throughout the seasons. When you take that away, you're taking away a lot from the soil. When you take from the soil, you take it from the roots. When you take from the roots, it spreads up to what? The stem. And then what happens? The stem no longer can support the crop, and then the crop dies. So when it comes to our food system, there's going to be a lot of food security concerns in the upcoming future, especially if climate change keeps influencing our communities in these ways.
Alright, so let's talk about the typical weather in February in Texas. You're going from a climate that is 60 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit to a climate that's -3 degrees. These places aren't able to handle it. You're not going to go into a store in Texas and buy a winter coat. You're not going to go in a store and buy boots. You're not going to get any of these items, and these people aren't going to be able to even warm themselves naturally, because they are just wearing shorts and just thinking that this is going to be summer weather, and it's not. And this is why we're so unprepared. We're not thinking about supply chains, merchandise, power grids. We're just thinking about what's happening in the current day. And while all these inclement weather changes are happening, we're not going to be prepared for it because of those reasons.
Alright everybody, once again, I am Donnie, but I prefer Earthly Donnie, and this is...
I'm Pooji, aka Pooji the Greatest.
And we are with Ecothot, and it's founded on the principles that environmentalism is not expressing the real concerns of the real day. And our current events are showing that environmental activism, as far as petitions, as far as protesting, is not effective. And we come from the SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry, which is the oldest university, actually the first university in the United States to found a school on environmental beliefs. And our school is an environmentally focused university, and we embrace it largely. And on top of that, we embrace the education that we was taught and our experiences. So, from a New York State resident, from an Ohio resident, we both are coming with you with some knowledge on our opinions, our facts, our points of disagreements, agreements about the current situations going on in Texas.
Ecothot is a way to express climate change in a multimedia fashion. You know, we can't just have scientific papers talk about this. We can't just have politicians talk about this. Random news sources talking about it once or every twice a month. You know, it's about talking about it every day and seeing that this is happening for real, and this is affecting people's lives for real. This isn't a trending topic. This is something that is happening on the ground, and people are going homeless, people are becoming refugees, people are dying, and we can't act like, you know, there's not a reason to climate change. There's lots of reasons to climate change, and we have to acknowledge those factors. It's not just us driving in the cars. It's not just us polluting in random places. There's so many factors to climate change, and Ecothot is here to express in so many different ways, videos, pictures, you know, skits, merchandise, everything, to show that climate change can be seen by the population as something that they can understand. It's not just an academic platform. This is a platform for everybody. Everybody who is facing climate change in the community, Everybody who feels like they don't have a voice, this is what Ecothot is for.
With that note, follow us at Ecothot, spelled with the 0 on the thought, because you know they like to exclude our black voices. And with that being known, also go check out our website for more academic resources, non-academic resources, merch, anything you want, any help also. And we got some new things coming your way. And as we always say, new vids coming soon.
It's coming.